Hello and welcome to another socially isolated edition of the Full Force News Burst, brought to you by GeneralsJoes Reborn.com, with me as your host, Chris, wash your balls as well, McLeod, aka Diagnostic 80. Joining me to report on this incredible G.I. Joe classified series Destro reveal is Justin. Also make sure to wash your bell. So without further ado, let's get stuck into this news burst. Well, blow me down with a feather. A feather developed by Mars that has nanotechnology and can control the weather. A weather feather. The Feather Dominator. Shut up. Sorry. I'm excited beyond human feelings. Yes, just moments ago, Hasbro revealed their brand new G.I. Joe Classified Series 6-inch Destro and put him up for pre-order on the Hasbro Pulse website. Yes, if you are seeing this in good time, which is probably not the case, then get on over there and order him right now. As far as the figure is concerned, we have a slightly different packaging design with the red Cobra logo that adorns the interior of the box card, and another sweet piece of exclusive card art showing the Mars CEO almost emerging from the Cobra logo, which becomes his famous red collar, and also is being put into a t-shirt design which you can order on Hasbro Pulse as well. He comes with a small gold blaster, possibly a nod to his Iron Grenadier deco, that slots into the holster on his right thigh, and a larger, more futuristic blaster he can hold menacingly. He also gets a briefcase that not only contains a Cobra branded laptop, but also a stash of money, which is a nice touch for all the Moneybags Destro fans out there, which is pretty much everyone, I think. His ruby necklace appears to be removable, and the design on this upgrade is nothing short of perfection. The extra texturing on the panels of his costume and the line detailing on his helmet, wahey, is simply superb. And red rockets glare, he has wrist rockets, and they're red. Justin, thoughts and prayers, please.
Yeah, I need some after seeing this figure. This thing is amazing. First of all, I'm really impressed because we're recording this about 15 minutes after it went live, and you somehow whipped up this elegant introduction with feather and weather and rockets. It's all
the top of my dome, mate. It's completely freestyle.
Man, that's impressive stuff, man.
Feather Dominator, amazing.
Feather Dominator. Yeah, I can't get over that. No, I mean, this is the figure is spectacular. I've been in stunned silence. Thankfully, I came out of stunned silence to record this, or else it'd be a very one-sided conversation. But
it'd be like a normal news burst, wouldn't it? It'd be me just on my own.
Just you talking to yourself. Yeah. But I mean, just the design and look of the uniform, it's very vintage, inspired by his vintage look, but some cool new, like shoulder pads, and the collar looks a little bit less 70s and a little bit more, modern, and the weapons are great. And I'm a huge fan of the briefcase and the money, and I think
I'm a huge fan of the money, I've got to admit.
Well, yeah, obviously.
That's why I do this podcast.
It pays so lucratively. You're holding out on me, man, because I don't see a single cent.
No, it all goes.
What are you not telling me?
All 5 cents of it goes to me. So yeah,
worth every penny.
Well, I would say it's interesting they've managed to stay close to the original design, as you mentioned, and yet upgrade the characters so well, much like I did with Snake Eyes. I mean, how impressed have you been so far with the designs overall?
I've been really impressed. I mean, I know there's been some complaints about some of the strong elements of gold and the shin armor and stuff like that. But really, I think they've been doing a remarkably good job retaining a lot of the vintage-inspired look, but, tweaking things a little bit. They went a little bit overboard maybe on the gold for Roadblock and Scarlet. Those two figures are probably, sort of not quite as thrilling as the rest of them, but I think they still have done, by and large, a really fantastic job. And, getting Snake Eyes in hand and actually messing with the figure itself, I've been nothing short of wildly impressed by what they've done so far.
And, I mean, how do you feel the Classified series is coming along now? We have all but the final retail Snake Eyes figure left to appear. Are you also surprised that they didn't kind of show him off today as well? Because, I mean, it seems a bit odd that we're left with this Snake Eyes that is effectively what I suppose we assume is going to be very much like the exclusive version.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting. In a day and age where retail has always been kind of wave based, it's curious how they're kind of trickling these out 1-2 at a time. And I am kind of surprised that they didn't reveal Snake Eyes kind of while they're at it. I think it's the worst kept secret in the G.I. Joe classified fandom right now is that Snake Eyes is going to be the final figure in Wave 1, and it's going to be a standard retail version as opposed to the Hasbro Pulse exclusive. And I think a lot of people are wondering what that means as far as how different it'll be compared to the exclusive version. So I think there's still some intrigue left in how Snake Eyes will come about. But yeah, I'm a bit surprised that they didn't kind of throw him on out there too. I mean, Destro obviously deserves a share of the spotlight.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool that he is the sole focus of today's pre-order, so everybody can kind of spend some time lavishing sloppy praise upon him. But is everybody lavishing sloppy praise, or is that just
us,
me?
Just us.
And we're the only sloppy ones, all right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure
Sloppy Joe.
will see. We will see Snake Eyes, I would imagine, at some point soon. But times like we were all complaining quite a bit at Toy Fair when they didn't reveal everything. But times like this, it's kind of cool because now we've got other stuff to look forward to, and there's still some more stuff, obviously, still to come.
Keeping us interested in the social isolation phase of life as well, which is fun.
I've got to have something to look forward to surrounded by these four walls 24/7.
Exactly. Let's talk about the artwork on that box as well. I mean, it's pretty cool. I love how he's kind of almost emerging out of what is the Cobra logo, and that's becoming his collar.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, I really love kind of how they're integrating that look into his collar, into the overall, into the helmet way, as you like to say.
It's
but it's really, really awesome. And I know there's been some kind of murmurs out there about how the art is different on each package, and I can kind of see how you want some sort of consistent presentation out there, but I really like the unique look of each of the different pieces of art, and I think this is no exception. They really did an awesome job on Destro.
They're also releasing the design as a t-shirt, slightly kind of changed in a way, or like kind of more, you get more of the image, because actually what you see on the box is a very small element of the art in total, and it's basically Destro's head and then Destro on his own head. So it's like, I'll flash the images up on screen, but it's a really cool piece of art. It reminds me of something you'd see on like a retailer incentive comic cover or something. They've all been very much like that, haven't they? The pieces of art have all been very kind of artistic in that they're all very different from each other and all kind of stand out in that kind of very comic art style. I
think they're kind of using that sort almost as a part of their marketing ploy is sort of, look at all the different styles of art we can do per package. They're taken apart from the whole retail philosophy of all the figures should look consistent. So, you kind of know what belongs to what, and instead offering that new different style art as sort of an enhancement to the figure of, this figure is cool and here's this unique artwork on the package. And for those mint in box collectors, it can probably create a little OCD when not everything is all kind of similar and aligned. But I do think it's pretty cool.
We should mention as well, it's designed by Oliver Barrett. So good work on that one, Oliver Barrett. An amazing piece of work. Mm-hmm. I mean, we can fully expect a Red Jackal release now as well, can't we?
Well, obviously,
we're going to have.
That's just a given, right? And I think they're gonna do a Red Jackal before they do another Snake Eyes, probably.
Yeah, they'll do a Stalker repaint of Snake Eyes, which will just be a grey mask. They'll do Quarrel, and they'll do Red Jackal. So that's going to happen.
Yeah, they'd be stupid not to. I mean really, the wealth of Action Force and Red Shadows fans that are out there.
The wealth of Action Force fan is...
I think 50% of them are on this podcast.
Correct. 100%. Okay, so let's talk about Destro a little bit more before we go. Wrist rockets, they look pretty dope.
Yes.
The design, there's a lot of like beautiful texturing going on, and also I love the line detailing in his helmet. Wahey.
Yeah, that's one of the coolest things about doing about the 6-inch scale is that, granted, they were able to cram a lot of this detail into the 4-inch figures as well. But at a 6-inch scale, you can really see, like you said, the textures of his jacket and his shoulders and, the different padding and different layers and things like that. It's very cool. And the inside collar looks like it has a little bit of kind of quilted texture as well. So yeah, they've really cranked things up. They're not just kind of phoning in this 6-inch line, figuring, oh, it's a 6-inch Joe, everybody's going to buy it. They're really obviously putting some work and effort into it.
What was interesting to me was obviously when we did have a little bit of a heads up on this one, guys. I'm not going to lie to you, but it seemed to be retailers getting the word out way before IGN and Hasbro Pulse kind of appeared on the map. Do you find that weird or interesting in any way, shape, or form?
Not necessarily. I mean, I suspect they probably tried to coordinate it, but Hasbro and IGN are kind of like aircraft carriers. Working for a large corporation, I can kind of it's tough to navigate swiftly.
Yeah.
Where these smaller online retailers, are. Number one, they're probably run by collectors, so a little bit more invested and a little bit more excited to get the product out there. And they're a little bit smaller and more nimble and can get stuff done more quickly. Hasbro, you probably have to go through this whole rigmarole to get things posted, so it just kind of delays things by 10 or 15 minutes sometimes.
Yeah, it was a rather anxious wait, wasn't it? At that 10 o'clock, kind of like, come on! But yeah, I mean, amazing. I think he's incredible. I'm really excited to get this one in hand. Which available to ship on approximately the 1st of June of this year. So they're being very optimistic about this particular one as well. Again, I think, the fact they managed to get Snake Eyes out so quickly, I was very surprised at that. So I guess not even the coronavirus can stop Hasbro from making money and sending stuff to us. So
yes, when it comes to making money, these corporations find a way.
Yeah, life finds a way. Anyway, Justin, thank you so much for jumping on and chatting with me about Destro. I hope you're fully sloppily excited.
Oh, it's a mess.
That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Thank you to my awesome co-host Justin Clean Up on Aisle 1 Bell. See you next time, and as always, Full Force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter @TheFullForce, liking the Facebook page facebook.com/TheFullForce, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of those platforms with feedback or questions. We have also started a Patreon page, so if you want to see your name up in lights on these videos or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/TheFullForce podcast or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.